It's a lovely fall day. Is it lovely?
It is lovely, yeah.
How lovely is this?
I think it actually does feel better than any day of the year so far. It is perfect outside.
Doug Maurice with Bill Landis and Ari Wasserman here on the Ohio State practice field. That's Ohio Stadium right over there. If anybody can see that. Schottenstein Center's over there. That's basketball. Basketball starts on Sunday. We will be going to Illinois this weekend. The Buckeyes at Illinois on Saturday for a noon kickoff, 11 local time. Bill Landis will then be rushing back to Columbus for the noon tip-off on Sunday to the Ohio State basketball season.
Noon tip-off, Mount St. Mary's coming in. I'm going to walk from Champaign. Just going to leave at a brisk pace. Get there just in time.
Yeah, you'll be back for signing day in February. So a lot of stuff going on. Not as much going on with Braxton Miller, the quarterback. I have a trivia question for you guys. Who has thrown more passes this season for Ohio State? Braxton Miller or Cameron Johnston? He's the punter.
Oh, is it even?
It's even.
Yeah.
Each has thrown one. Braxton completed his for 3 yards.
He throw away I think it was a bad snap on a punt, and he just grounded it. Yeah.
So that might be Ohio State might have the throw off the punt in the books, or they might have the former two-time Big Ten Player of the Year at quarterback throw a pass. But it didn't happen last week when I think basically the media got itself into a froth over nothing, and Urban Meyer just let it happen. And we were talking about we asked players, what's Braxton look like throwing it, and they're like,
it was me that did it.
Yeah. What'd they say?
I was the one who asked Urban about it at the end of the press conference, and he was like, yeah, he's our backup. And it was just like, ah! And it was just like I told these guys before we started the video, I'm never in my entire life for the remainder of Braxton Miller's career here expecting him to throw a pass, catch a pass, score a touchdown, or breathe. When it happens, it'll happen, but I am done hyping it up to the point. Because I wrote the story. It was me. Braxton Miller throwing in practice. Or the quote was, he's doing a lot more behind the scenes than we think. Remember?
Yes.
That was the quote, and it was like, oh, awesome quote. I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm done.
Rob Aller from the Columbus Dispatch was asking Urban about that on Monday, and whether last week was a smokescreen to let all that Braxton talk sort of get out there. And Urban was sort of like, Urban was given his, I don't know. Do you think it was a purposeful smokescreen, or was it just us making stuff out of nothing? Or what did you think of the whole Braxton Miller quarterback possibilities that never came to be?
I think it was maybe partial smokescreen. I think Urban Meyer would love it if Braxton Miller could come out there and start chucking the ball around. I think Urban Meyer is afraid to put Braxton, not afraid. I mean, afraid might not be the right word, but
Wary.
Yeah, you just don't want to put Braxton Miller in a situation where he hurts his shoulder again by throwing the football. And you don't have to do it. There's not a team on the schedule so far where they had to have Braxton Miller throw the ball in order to win. And I think that's in the back of Urban Meyer's mind. It's certainly in the back of Braxton Miller's mind. Why would you put him in that position if you didn't have to? But when guys like Ari say, hey, is Braxton going to throw the ball? Everyone's like, yeah, why not? Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why they put him back there enough times. How many times was he at quarterback? You tracked that, right?
You mean this past week?
Yeah, the past week. How many times was it direct snap?
Direct snap, I believe it was 3 times.
It was different, too, because every time he's done that, the quarterback, whoever it was, would stay on the field.
Not every single time in the past. I think there were a couple when Cardale certainly most.
It didn't happen at all, I don't think, last.
No, now they had Cardale coming off the field more like Braxton is the quarterback. This isn't a goofy. We're putting the real quarterback at receiver. They had done that, I think, a couple times in the past, because if Braxton bounces something outside and you have the quarterback out there, you're losing a blocker. Mm-hmm. The whole thing about the quarterback run is even up the numbers, but then you're leaving someone on the field who's a non-entity. Right. So you're sort of losing the advantage to some degree. I don't know. They've goofed around with that so much. He has so many negative yardage plays this year. He does not look comfortable doing that. He hesitates. He stutter steps. He gets strung out running horizontally. It's just been a weird thing. As dynamic as he is, he has never settled in there. I feel like he thinks differently when he's back there now. He doesn't act like I'm a quarterback like I've always been. Here I go. He seems to approach it as, I'm a receiver. Here I come to take a snap. And he looks a little off. Now, if he can get going, and if he can get a block and not get caught in the backfield with too much hesitation, he can certainly get to the corner, and we've seen him pop a few. But it's not a consistent part of the offense. It's very odd, and I think do we agree with him? Are we out on this? Like, we've been theorizing, maybe we'll see it at Michigan State. They're saving it, whatever. Are we out, or are you and I going to hang on a little bit?
I'm out.
I mean, I think my first outrageous prediction of the season before we watched Ohio State this year play football was that Braxton Miller would not catch a forward pass. And, like, he had a great game against Virginia Tech because he caught 2 forward passes. But they both turned out to be big. But, like, half the time I've been like, this could happen. And then half the time I'm like, there's no way it's going to happen. So now I'm just going to be on the no way it happens and be wrong that way instead of expecting anything.
Because he is not a consistent part of the offense. He puts up yards because, he had like 50 yards of offense the other last week because he caught a 45-yard pass and he gained like a total of 5 yards or whatever it was on the 3 runs. But it's not a consistent down in, down out kind of thing. I mean, it's been obviously making a position change is difficult. And I wrote that before the season. That's like ease up on Braxton Miller, game-breaking receiver. Let's let him make the transition. And he's still transitioning. This is still a work in progress. This is not a finished product. The coaches keep saying great things, but he is frankly a limited part of the offense. And I think it is time to say he'll be a quarterback when he's a quarterback, but let's not hold our breath.
We're in November now. Like, it happened
It
quickly.
doesn't feel like it though. It feels like May.
May is Vegas time, okay? No, but you would think that, like, you would expect it would be inconsistent like it was at the beginning of the year. But now Ohio State is at the point in the season now where in 2 weeks they're playing Michigan and it's go time. And I think that it might have been naive to. But I think being a ready receiver and doing things at quarterback from a throwing standpoint are 2 separate conversations. I think that just having him on the field, there are certain benefits to it. But are they going to use him and do some tricky stuff in the backfield when he receives those direct snaps? I still think there's a chance he could throw it, especially against Michigan or Michigan State. But I don't think that they would not be prepared for that too.
Okay. So when he's like 17 of 20 against Michigan, we're going to roll back the clip of you saying, I'm out.
I would rather be wrong that way than be wrong by saying he's going to do it.
I agree with that. We're used to being wrong, but it's been a little weird of like, I think everyone covering the team sort of waiting for something that maybe we never should have been waiting for. Enjoy this lovely fall day. He's Ari, he's Bill, I'm Doug. Thanks for watching on cleveland.com.